My fiancée believed her best friend forever and started doubting our relationship, so I let her go find what she wanted, and what followed left her in tears of regret. I'm Callan. I'm 30, work in cybersecurity, live in Dallas. I'm the type who prefers spreadsheets and silence over crowds and noise. My girlfriend, well, fiancée now, is Mira. She's 27, a social media consultant who could sell air if she framed it right. We met at a tech networking event last spring. I was there for a client demo. She was there for brand exposure. She laughed when I told her I didn't have Instagram. Off-grid? That's basically suspicious. I prefer peace over notifications, I said. She liked that line. It moved quick after that. Dinner dates, long drives, those early relationship weekends that feel easy because you're both still pretending to be your best version. She talked about travel and clients. I talked about work and how boring I probably sounded. She said I was mysteriously calm, which was her nice way of saying predictable. 9 months after we met, she moved into my place. I didn't think twice. It felt logical. Rent split, less travel between apartments. First thing she did was start rearranging everything for content. Suddenly, every corner needed vibe lighting and fake plants. My living room turned into a background for her videos. I didn't argue. I liked order. And she was organized, even if it was for the wrong reason. Then the comments started. Small, sharp. You're too routine, Callan. You plan dinner like a meeting. You need to loosen up. Life's not a checklist. I shrugged most of it off. I'm not the type to debate personality differences. If she needed chaos to feel alive, fine. I just kept doing my work. After a year together, I proposed. Simple plan. No audience, just us on a rooftop downtown. I used my mother's diamond, reset into a plain silver band. It meant something to me. She said yes before asking, wait, can we redo the video? I blinked. We did it again twice. The third take made it to her story with a caption about manifesting forever. That's when I first felt something wrong. She cared more about the recording than the moment. Her best friend, Belle, showed up soon after. Belle's the divorced one who found herself by never staying home. She worked in PR and treated drama like oxygen. The first night I met her, she told Mira, you can't spend your 20s playing house. You got to live. Mira nodded a little too quickly. Over the next month, living turned into late nights and group outings. Mira started dressing sharper, flashier. When I asked where she was headed, it was always just networking. I stopped questioning it. Instead, I started observing, not snooping, just noting things down. When she said she was at dinner, I checked the time she posted stories. When she said she was exhausted from meetings, her location tag said downtown rooftop. I didn't react. I just stored information. I figured truth always reveals itself when you stop chasing it. One Friday, I'd planned a quiet weekend trip. Nothing fancy, just a drive and a rental cabin near a lake. She canceled last minute. Said Belle was having a breakdown and needed her. I said, okay. 2 hours later, a mutual friend tagged her in a picture at a rooftop bar. She looked fine. So did Belle. I didn't message her. I just took a screenshot and went to bed early. Sunday night, she came home acting normal. Asked what I did all weekend. I said, cleaned the apartment. It's peaceful when it's quiet. She rolled her eyes. You don't trust me, do you? I didn't say that. Then why the attitude? No attitude, I said. Just observation. That annoyed her more than if I'd yelled. She accused me of being controlling. Control takes effort, I told her. I'm just documenting outcomes. That line ended the conversation. She stormed into the bedroom, slammed the door, and posted something online about men who fear strong women. I didn't read the comments. I muted her stories for the first time. By then, I'd already started checking out, not emotionally confused, just detached. I went to the gym before work, stayed late at the office, cleaned my apartment when she wasn't home. I like the silence more than I like the relationship. People think relationships fall apart from one big thing. It's smaller than that. Tiny chips in the surface until you realize it's dust. Mira still acted like everything was perfect on camera. Smiling in selfies, captioning our dinners with #goals. But off camera, it was distance, short replies, the occasional, you're boring lately. I didn't argue anymore. I started sleeping better. At that point, I already knew the direction things were going. She was chasing attention and I was calculating exit points, not because I didn't care, because I didn't compete. Some men scream when they're angry. I start planning exits. Mira called it my maturity test. That's how she pitched Belle's penthouse party. She said, if I came, it would show I can handle her lifestyle. Her tone made it sound like I'd been failing some invisible exam. I told her, I'm not the one who needs validation from strangers. She rolled her eyes. You can't live your life in spreadsheets, Callan. Try having fun for once. I went anyway. I wanted to see what she called fun. The elevator opened to a wall of sound. Music, chatter, ring lights flashing everywhere. The whole place was made for people who can't enjoy a moment without recording it. Half the guests looked like they'd come straight from a clothing ad, the other half like they were auditioning for one. I scanned the room for an escape route. Found the kitchen. It was quieter, less crowded, fewer phones pointing around. I poured myself a soda and leaned against the counter. From there, I could see Mira making her entrance. She looked flawless. Hair done, makeup perfect, everything coordinated. She knew it, too. She floated through the crowd, hugging people, doing that half laugh that sounded rehearsed. A few guys turned to watch her walk by. She saw me from across the room, smiled, waved, and then kept moving. That told me everything. I stayed where I was, watching her circle through the room. She didn't notice me slip out of her camera shots. I'd become part of the background. After 20 minutes, I heard her voice drifting from behind the kitchen wall, laughing with Belle and a few others. Belle's voice was sharp and loud like always. Even then, she was scanning the room, counting reactions. More strategist than cheerleader. You've only been with 3 guys. Girl, you're wasting your prime. Mira laughed. That fake laugh she used when she wanted people to think she was interesting. I know. Sometimes I wonder what else is out there. Callan's great, but he's so steady. It's like living in a loop. More laughter. Then Belle again. Exactly. You need excitement, not spreadsheets and early nights. I just stood there staring at the counter. The air went quiet in my head. It wasn't anger. It was clarity. I walked around the corner. They froze when they saw me. If you're wondering what else is out there, I said, go find out. Mira blinked, then laughed nervously. Callan, we were just talking. Don't be weird. I'm not, I said. You said you're missing out. I'm giving you permission to explore. Belle's lips curved into a grin. Finally, the robot speaks. I looked straight at her. Since you're the one giving exploration advice, you free Friday? Her smile sharpened. Sure, why not? The 2 other girls gasped. Mira's expression snapped from shock to rage. What the hell is wrong with you? She yelled. Are you out of your mind? No, I said. I'm just catching up. You said I'm too steady. I'm trying something new. She pointed at me, shaking. You're humiliating yourself. I picked up a bowl of chips from the counter. Seems like you're doing most of the work. That line broke the dam. She screamed my name, voice cracking. A few people turned, then more. Then half the room stopped talking. Phones were already up. One guy whispered, dude, this is insane. Mira stormed toward me, finger in my face. You think this is funny? You're embarrassing me. No, I said calmly. You embarrassed me for months. I'm just done pretending I didn't notice. She shoved my shoulder. You're such a jerk. Maybe, I said. But at least I'm consistent. Someone in the back snorted. A girl tried to pull Mira away. She spun, yelling at her, too. Belle stood off to the side, half smiling, half stunned. I leaned against the counter again, still holding the bowl. Let me know when the episode's over, I said. That made the crowd laugh. Not loud, but enough. Mira froze, realizing people weren't on her side anymore. She looked around and saw cameras pointed at her. The panic hit her face in real time. She screamed, you're pathetic. And stormed out of the kitchen, knocking over a drink tray. Liquid splashed across the marble. I watched her heels disappear down the hallway. Belle turned to me. You actually going to call me Friday? I shrugged. You said people should explore. I'm just following expert advice. Her smile flickered, half impressed, half wary. You're colder than I thought. Just efficient, I said, and walked out. The music started up again behind me, but quieter this time. People were whispering, checking their phones. I took the elevator down, hands steady, no rush. In the car, I sat for a minute, just breathing. No anger, no sadness, just a quiet kind of relief, like a puzzle finally solved. When I got home, I didn't check my phone. I opened my laptop, transferred funds from my dedicated wedding sub-account back into my personal checking, and deleted the shared calendar. Around midnight, pounding on the door. Mira, of course. I opened it halfway. She was crying, shouting, mascara streaked. You humiliated me, she screamed. You made me look like an idiot in front of everyone. You didn't need help with that, I said. Her voice cracked. You think this is some game? No, games have rules. She stared at me, shocked. You're insane. I've been calm this whole time, I said. That's what drove you crazy. Her breathing turned uneven. I'm leaving, she said. I can't do this anymore. Good, I said. She stood there speechless for a few seconds, then hissed. You'll regret this. Probably not, I said, and closed the door. I locked it, turned off the lights, and sat back down. My apartment finally felt like mine again. Quiet, clean, peaceful. I wrote one final line in my notes before bed. Observation complete. Freedom. Then I shut the laptop and slept without dreaming. By Monday, the clip was everywhere. Half the internet knighted me, half crucified me, and then everyone scrolled. I didn't post. At work, people whispered but pretended not to. The ones who liked me made jokes. The ones who didn't stayed fake polite. In the break room, someone played the clip out loud. Low volume, but not low enough. I kept stirring my coffee until they noticed I was standing behind them. They went quiet. Later that day, my boss, Mr. Ortiz, called me in. He's in his 50s, seen enough office drama to last a lifetime. I expected a lecture about personal matters spilling into the workplace. Instead, he nodded at the seat. You handled chaos like a pro, he said. Didn't feel like chaos, I told him. Just overdue honesty. He smiled. Still, most people would have melted down. Keep doing what you do. That was the only approval I needed. Around lunch, Mira started texting. The first message said, I'm sorry. I didn't mean it. Then another, I was drunk. Then 20 more, each longer and less coherent. By evening, she'd moved to, you ruined my life. Then 2, you don't understand how hard it is to be me. Then back to, we can fix this. I didn't answer any of them. I muted the thread. That afternoon, she decided to come to my office instead. She showed up crying, makeup running right through the glass doors. My coworkers froze. Callan, please, she said loud enough for everyone to hear. We need to talk. I stood up but kept my tone calm. You shouldn't be here, Mira. Why are you being like this? She shouted. I nodded toward the lobby. Security will walk you out. She blinked like she couldn't process it. You're really doing this in front of people? Yes. The guard walked her out gently while she yelled my name one last time. I sat back down, opened my email, and kept working. An hour later, she texted again. You made me look crazy. I closed my phone. That night, I stayed late at work. When I got home, the apartment door wasn't fully closed. My stomach dropped. Inside, the living room was a mess. One of my monitors knocked over, mail scattered across the floor, a broken mug near the counter. I checked the security cameras. I keep cameras for security, not content. She'd used her old key. The footage showed her pacing, crying, shouting at nobody, then sweeping papers off the table before leaving. I clipped the video and sent it to her with one line. You'll get a bill for damages. No response, but I saw the scene mark. That was enough. The next day, management changed the building access code and I replaced my lock. Then I went to the gym. Man, I saw the clip in the follow-up. He said, you're like a walking case study. Meaning, you're not in a breakup. You're doing field research, data collection, emotional version. Someone's got to document it, I said. He laughed. You make heartbreak sound like a tech project. That's how you stay sane, I told him. Back home, I cleaned what was left of the mess. Tossed her leftover stuff into 2 boxes and labeled them pickup pending. The place finally felt right again. Clean, quiet, predictable. No ring lights, no fake laughter echoing off the walls. By midweek, the online buzz started dying. People moved on to a new scandal. Mira tried to post a long caption about toxic men, but comments flooded in with screenshots and jokes. Someone even made a meme out of her yelling. The attention she lived for was now eating her alive. Friday morning, while finishing an audit report, a message popped up on my phone. Bell, dinner, Friday still happening? I stared at the screen for a few seconds. The office around me buzzed with normal noise. Keyboards, printers, life moving on. I typed back, yep, let's finalize your theory on freedom. Sent phone down. If the party was the explosion, this part was the smoke. It drifted, lingered, then cleared. And through it all, I never said a word. The restaurant Bell picked was quieter than I expected. Low lighting, no one had their phones out, no crowd trying to look famous. She was already there when I walked in. Black blazer, glass of water, no phone in sight. That was new. You actually came, she said, standing up halfway. You said dinner, I told her. I'm a man of my word. She gave a small laugh. That's one way to put it. I'll be straight, Belle said first. I told Mira to see what else was out there. I know, I said. You were loud about it. She didn't flinch. She was getting restless. I figured if she explored a little, she'd either realize she had it good or prove she wasn't ready to settle. You're half right, I said. Some experiences just confirm bad judgment. That earned a smirk. You really don't sugarcoat, do you? Wastes time. We ordered. She got a salad. I got something heavier. Small talk didn't last long. I didn't think you'd actually ask me out that night, she said. Most guys would have just walked away. Most guys don't wait until the math checks out, I said. I just needed proof. And you got it? Yeah, I said louder than I expected. For a few minutes, we ate quietly. The calm felt strange after weeks of noise. Then the calm ended. A familiar voice cut through the restaurant noise. Too loud for the space. Of course you'd be here, Mira said. She stood in the doorway, eyes red, makeup running, holding her phone like a weapon. The few people around us turned their heads instantly. Belle sighed. Here we go. Mira walked straight to our table, ignoring the waiter trying to stop her. You think this is funny? She said to me. Humiliating me wasn't enough. I put my fork down. You said you wanted options. I'm letting you have them. You're emotionally manipulative. She snapped. You twist everything. I quote directly, I said. She turned to Belle. And you, my best friend, you're disgusting. How could you do this? Belle leaned back. You can't demand loyalty after disrespect, Mira. You lost that right when you started badmouthing him for likes. Mira's breathing quickened. You both planned this to ruin me. I shook my head. No one needed to plan anything. You just provided the material. A phone camera clicked somewhere behind us. People were pretending to text while recording. Mira noticed and turned around yelling, "Stop filming me." That only made more people lift their phones. She turned back to me, eyes wild. You made me crazy. You made you crazy, I said. Then she grabbed her napkin, threw it at the table, and stormed out. The napkin hit my glass, knocking it over. Water spilling across the table. A waiter rushed in with towels. I didn't move. Belle exhaled slowly like she'd been holding her breath for hours. Well, she said. That went about how I thought it would. Same, I said, though I expected at least one drink thrown. A couple of people clapped quietly. Someone whispered, "That's the guy from the video." We waited until the noise died down. The waiter refilled my glass and apologized for something that wasn't his fault. Belle picked up her phone. Finally, locked the screen again. I didn't agree to dinner to mess with you, she said. I wanted to see how you'd handle it. You didn't yell, didn't get emotional. It's weirdly impressive. I learned early that arguing with chaos just adds volume, I said. She nodded. For what it's worth, I told her she was wrong about you. You weren't controlling. You were just steady. She mistook calm for boring. She needs noise to feel alive, I said. I don't. Belle leaned back. I said yes to your fake date because I wanted her to see what she was losing. Maybe a bit of revenge, too. I nodded. Mission accomplished. She smiled small and tired. Experiment complete. Experiment complete, I said. We both stood. I reached for the bill, but she waved me off. Let me. You paid enough insanity. I didn't argue. Fair. We walked out together, but split directions at the door. Outside, the air felt cooler, sharper. The city noise replaced the restaurant chatter. Belle turned to me one last time. For what it's worth, Callan. You didn't deserve that mess. I know, I said. But at least now it's documented. She laughed. You really treat life like data. Data doesn't lie, I said. She smiled, shook her head, and walked away. I watched her disappear into a ride share, then headed toward my car. As I got in, I checked my phone. Already notifications popping up. Someone had uploaded a new clip. Part 2. She crashes their dinner. I turned the phone off. The night was quiet again. For the first time in weeks, I didn't feel like I was playing defense. Whatever Mira thought she'd ruined by showing up, she ended up proving instead. I wasn't the problem. I was the mirror. And some people just can't stand what they see. A week after the dinner scene, Mira made her comeback. The video popped up on every feed I touched. Thumbnail of her face half lit, teary eyes, soft piano playing under her voice. The title, What I Survived. She called me controlling. Said I isolated her from friends, used every buzzword people online eat up. Manipulative, toxic, gaslighting. Then came the evidence. Screenshots of texts cropped to make me look like a dictator. One showed me saying, "We'll talk later." The part she cut out was her lying about where she'd been that night. Another said, "I'm not interested in your excuses." She left out the paragraph above it, her bragging about networking with guys at 3 a.m. It spread fast. Within hours, lifestyle accounts reposted it with captions like, "Stay strong, Queen." Comments poured in. "She's so brave for speaking up." Red flags all over. Then a few people chimed in. "Wasn't she the one who cheated? Didn't she scream at him in public?" I didn't respond. I didn't even finish the video. I tossed my phone on the counter and went to the gym. By Monday morning, it reached work. I opened my inbox to a polite HR message. "We've received an anonymous report regarding potential harassment. Please come in for a short discussion." I smiled. Someone had taken her bait. When I walked into HR, they looked nervous, like I might explode. I set a flash drive on the table and said, "This is every text and call log between me and Mira. Full files, metadata included." The HR rep opened them, scrolled, frowned. "She claimed you tracked her phone." "I work in cybersecurity," I said. "I track viruses, not people." She nodded. After a short review, HR cleared me later that afternoon. By Wednesday, the noise online got worse. Mira's video hit 100,000 views. Her followers flooded her comments with support. She'd found her audience, but something started cracking. People were asking for proof. One comment read, "If he was abusive, why was she begging him back last month?" That afternoon, I got a letter from a lawyer claiming representation for Mira. It said she was owed half our joint wedding savings and compensation for emotional distress. That made me laugh out loud. There was no joint anything. She never paid a cent toward the wedding fund. The ring was purchased solely by me. Receipts are in my name. I called my lawyer, dropped off a folder with every receipt, transfer, and invoice. "She's trying to build leverage," he said. "She's trying to bluff," I corrected. We sent one email to her attorney. All financials are separate. Attempting to claim otherwise constitutes fraud. Supporting documents attached. A few hours later, I got a text from Mira herself. "We don't have to make this ugly. Let's settle privately." I replied once. "Already did. It's called evidence." By Friday, the tide shifted. A journalist who'd run her story reached out to verify context. I sent them unedited screenshots, full conversations showing where she'd trimmed my replies. I didn't add commentary, just the data. 2 days later, her article vanished. In its place was a short line. Previous statements could not be verified. People online noticed. One Reddit post showed her screenshots beside mine. Timestamps didn't match. Another showed metadata proving her version had been cropped in Canva. The comments flipped. "Liar. Fake receipts. Playing victim for attention." By the weekend, her sponsorships started dropping. One brand deleted all traces of her. Another posted, "We do not tolerate misinformation." Mutual friends stopped texting her. Belle messaged me once. "She's done. I can't even defend her anymore." Mira posted one last story. Black background, white text, taking time off to heal. It got maybe 20 replies, all sarcastic. That night, I opened my laptop. On the desktop sat a folder labeled Mirror Evidence. It held hundreds of files, screenshots, logs, timestamps, receipts, everything I'd needed to defend myself. I hovered the mouse over it. Then I renamed it Closed. I deleted the backup copy and kept the master for records. I didn't post a quote. I didn't celebrate. I just leaned back, closed my eyes, and let the silence stay. For about a week, Mira went silent. No posts, no stories, no cryptic quotes. For someone who'd lived online every day for years, that silence was louder than anything she'd said before. The internet moved on fast. New gossip, new scandals. I almost thought she'd finally accepted defeat. Then one night, she came back. The first post was a black and white selfie of her crying. The caption read, "Sometimes the truth gets twisted by people who can't handle accountability." The next morning, a video appeared. Shot in her car, shaking slightly as she wiped fake tears and blamed online hate. She said people had taken things out of context, that she was the real victim. Her followers weren't buying it anymore. "Didn't you fake screenshots? You're embarrassing yourself. You're not a victim. You just lost." She tried turning off comments, but screenshots spread everywhere. Then came a half-hearted, healing post with candles and quotes about self-worth. That one flopped, too. Her next move was tagging me again. Captions about toxic men who hide behind logic and silent manipulators. Each one tagged my name, hoping I'd bite. I didn't. I didn't even look directly at them. I stayed quiet. By the 5th post, she was unraveling. People could see it. A few nights later, I was finishing a late workout. The gym was nearly empty. Just a few regulars and the hum of treadmills. I just finished a set when I caught her reflection in the mirror behind me. She was holding her phone out, already recording, wearing that expression halfway between anger and performance. "You ruined my life," she yelled, her voice echoing against the walls. "Admit what you did to me." Everyone in the room froze. The music stopped. A couple of phones came out. People love a scene. I set the weights down, turned around, and looked straight at her. "For the record," I said, keeping my tone level. "This is harassment." Then I looked directly into her camera lens. "You need to leave." She stepped closer. "You can't hide behind the calm act forever. Everyone knows what you did." "I know exactly what I did," I said. I stopped responding to nonsense. I walked toward the front desk. She followed, still recording, shouting about toxic masculinity and revenge. The staff looked horrified. I told the manager, "She's filming members without permission. Your policy bans it. Call security." Security came fast. I grabbed my bag, walked right past her mid-rant, and didn't look back. By morning, the clips were everywhere. Different angles, multiple captions. Some said, "Girl loses it at gym," others said, "That's the calmest man alive." People debated whether it was real or staged. I didn't care. The reaction was enough. Bro didn't even blink. She's completely lost it. I can't tell if this is sad or hilarious. The same followers who'd once called me toxic were now calling her unhinged. I didn't post anything. Didn't gloat. I just went to work like usual. A few hours later, Belle texted me. "She's gone off the deep end." I told her to stop. She doesn't listen. She's burning everything left. Then a second message followed. "You didn't hear this from me, but I still have that voice note she sent back in March. The one where she bragged about pushing you for engagement." I didn't reply, but I knew what she meant. That clip existed, and if Belle was tired enough, she'd use it. The next morning, it leaked. Someone uploaded it to a gossip forum. A 30-second voice note of Mira laughing with friends. "If I push him hard enough, he'll snap." People love watching men break down. That's how you get engagement. It was her voice. No editing, no denials possible. The post spread like wildfire. Within hours, it hit every platform. Headlines followed. Influencer caught fabricating abuse narrative. Leaked audio exposes fake victim story. Her entire narrative collapsed overnight. Her followers turned instantly. Comments under her old videos filled with disgust. "You tried to ruin an innocent guy for views. You need therapy, not followers. Apologize publicly or disappear." Brand deals dropped one by one. A few even released statements about integrity and transparency. She went live once to explain, but ended up crying and blaming toxic media. No one cared. 3 days later, she showed up again, this time in my office parking lot. She wasn't dressed for a show anymore. No makeup, no filters, just a hoodie, messy hair, and puffy eyes. "Callan," she said, voice shaky. "Please, I never wanted this. They twisted everything. I was just trying to protect myself." She started crying harder. "Everyone hates me now. I can't go online without getting death threats. You don't know what this feels like." I stood there, hands in my pockets. "You wanted attention," I said quietly. "You got it. Now live with it." She froze. "You're really just going to walk away after everything?" "Yeah," I said. "That's the point." Security already watching the cameras came out again. She screamed. "You ruined my life." As they led her off the property, people from other offices had stepped outside, watching silently. No one helped her. No one defended her. I went back inside and sat at my desk. My inbox was full, but I didn't feel like checking anything. Mr. Ortiz stopped by a few minutes later. "You good?" he asked. "Always," I said. He nodded. Handled like a professional again. That night, I got home, scrolled once through the trending page, and saw her name again. Disgraced influencer confronts ex in parking lot. The clip already had 1 million views. I watched 10 seconds of it, then shut my phone off. A message from Nate came in later. "It's over, man." I replied. "Data confirmed." Then I slept better than I had in years. She burned herself chasing light. I just stepped out of the fire. 6 months later, my life was quiet again. Not the kind of quiet that feels empty. The kind that feels earned. The new apartment was smaller, but perfect. Clean lines, no clutter. The kind of place that stays the same way you left it. I woke up early now, worked out before sunrise, cooked my own breakfast, and actually tasted it. No more notifications lighting up my mornings. No more second-guessing every word I said. Work was steady. If anything, The whole storm had boosted my reputation. Mr. Ortiz had made me lead on a new project, said I'd proven leadership under pressure. The irony wasn't lost on me. Handling a public meltdown apparently qualified as crisis management experience. I mentored a few new hires now, mostly younger guys who still thought drama made life interesting. One of them, Jordan, asked me once, "Man, how'd you stay so chill through all that?" I just said, "Screenshots and sleep." He laughed, but I meant it. Sometimes I'd get random DMs from strangers, people who'd seen clips from the chaos months back. Most said things like, "You handled that perfectly." A few sent, "Thanks for proving that calm isn't weakness." I never replied, but I read them all. It was strange knowing people had watched my private disaster like a movie. The gym staff still talked about the night she showed up, but even that story was fading. The clip had been reposted so many times that new viewers thought it was staged. I didn't correct anyone. Let them think whatever made sense. Kira had been around through it all. Nate's sister, quiet, grounded, smart. She checked in during the chaos, usually with short messages like, "You eating today?" Or "Don't forget the world's bigger than her." Nothing heavy. No pity. After things settled, we started grabbing coffee on Sundays. No pressure, no flirting at first, just normal conversation. She worked in design, hated social media, loved hiking. We talked about dumb stuff, bad movies, traffic, why gym mirrors always look like interrogation lights. She made me laugh more than I expected. One afternoon, sitting outside a cafe, she said, "So, do people still recognize you from the whole saga?" "Sometimes," I said. "Mostly online. Real life moves on faster." "Good." She said, "The internet doesn't deserve sequels." That line stuck with me. There was no rush with her. No image to manage. We didn't post pictures, didn't announce anything. It just fit. Every once in a while, I'd see a mention of Mira online, buried under unrelated posts. She'd try to rebrand about 2 months after her public collapse. New username, new bio, healing coach, mental health advocate, helping others find peace. The first video she posted under that name was an apology, or her version of one. She said she'd let pain speak louder than truth, that she'd been guided by bad friends. The comments destroyed her. "Girl, please just stop lying. Still blaming everyone else, huh?" She deleted it within a day. Then came the motivational quotes. Black and white text on beige backgrounds. "Your scars tell your story. Sometimes falling apart is the first step to becoming whole." Every post got fewer likes. The comments turned cruel. People don't forgive easily when they've been played. Eventually, her account disappeared altogether. No big goodbye, no final message, just gone. I figured she'd either changed her name again or finally logged off for good. Either way, it wasn't my problem. Work kept me busy. My team started calling me the calm tech after I handled another client crisis without raising my voice. It stuck as a running joke. I didn't mind. Being known for composure beat being known for chaos. Some nights when everything was still, I'd think about how strange it was that something so loud had ended in such quiet. I hadn't needed revenge or a speech or validation. All I'd needed was patience. Then one night near midnight, my phone buzzed. Unknown number. I miss who we were. No name, but I didn't need one. I stared at it for maybe 10 seconds. Then I typed "I don't block the number," set the phone down, slept fine. The next morning, I cleared the last remaining folder from my hard drive, the master folder from that time. I renamed it Archive, then deleted it for good. Kira texted that morning. "Coffee later?" I sent back. "Yeah, my treat." At the cafe, she noticed I looked lighter. "You finally let go?" she asked. "Yeah," I said. Deleted the past. She grinned. "Feels good, doesn't it? Like rebooting a system that used to glitch every 5 minutes." We sat there quietly for a while. Sunlight hitting the table just right. No noise, no cameras, no pretending. I realized then that the best revenge wasn't exposing someone or proving a point. It was living in peace while they kept chasing ghosts. Mira built her world around being seen. She needed eyes on her to feel alive. I built mine around being steady. The world remembered her for the noise. I'd rather be forgotten for the quiet. Life didn't turn cinematic after that. It just got normal. Work, gym, good food, simple routines. I caught a sunrise every few days. Actually took weekends off. Even started sketching again, something I hadn't done since college. Sometimes Nate would joke, "Man, you went from scandal headline to mentor in 6 months. Guess that's the upgrade." I'd say. And it was.